A plane crash in Russia, and it seems like Prigozhin was on board, which means Prigozhin can be potentially killed. BlackRock becomes the third largest holder of BTC. Is it true? Let's find out. And the recession intensifies in Europe. And BRICS will accelerate the expansion. India agree with expansion of BRICS. And Binance limits withdrawals in Europe. Also, Alden gave her opinion on the BRICS currency. This and a few more things are the things we're going to be discussing on today's video. Hi, welcome to Crypto Vagabonds YouTube channel. In this channel, we talk about cryptocurrencies, geopolitics, microfinance, and everything else that may affect the performance of your favorite crypto asset. If you do like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. Now let's get into today's video. As usual, we're going to begin with Bloomberg. And Bloomberg main headlines could be no other than Wagner chief Prigozhin was deadly on a plane crash according to Russia. Now, I have to say, mea culpa, yesterday I was not under the impression that Prigozhin was actually an enemy of Vladimir Putin. So it seems like I was wrong, I admit that here, but here what we have it. No cause was announced, but the crash immediately raised suspicions that Prigozhin had been killed, and of course, is because he pissed off Vladimir Putin. Now, let's see. We have not verified this. It seems to be the truth. You will not know, only time will tell. The only way to find out is by waiting. So, let's see here what's happening in Europe. The euro area is worsening. The crisis is here. You can see here. The contraction of private sector activity in euro area has intensified. So basically, what that means is here, at least in Europe, the recession is already there and is intensifying. Now, the article suggests that because the recession may be here, the ECB may pause the hikes. I'm not so sure if they're going to be able to pause the hikes, because as soon as they do, prices will start to go up, and that will further depreciate the euro. But let's see what happens next month when the central bank have their meetings. The market is betting on a pause. Let's see. So yesterday we made a video about the BRICS expansion and how India was not fully on board, but it seems like India is now fully on board and the BRICS nation will expand rapidly. That is very good news for China. It is fantastic news for Russia. Not really good news for Ukraine, and not such good news for India, even though India is on board. Let's see what happens. So here's something that really did not surprise me about the BRICS meeting. I know the meeting occurred in South Africa, and I believe the South African president was really expecting great contributions or great benefits from the BRICS meeting on his country. And here's the issue with the BRICS nation. The BRICS Bank, NDB, struggled to find South Africa projects to finance. Basically, the bank has pledged $3 billion to help South Africa. The main issue in South Africa is energy. They have blackouts on a daily basis, and some blackouts last over 12 hours. And of course, if you are in a place where blackouts occur and sometimes they last 12 hours, that means you diminish the productivity of that country and things get really bad. So that is one problem that needs to be solved immediately in South Africa. But here's what happened. According to the BRICS, we need bankable projects that have gone through due diligence process, and there's a shortage, meaning even to the BRICS standards, they cannot find a project that is free of corruption. In my view, that's how I interpret this. It goes even further. We want to be part of the solution, he said. We need to do more project preparation, more capacity building to ensure that the projects that might be concept make a lot of sense, but it needs to have that commercial viability element, which means, yes, the banks have $3 billion to invest, but they want to invest on a project that's viable and it has to have the commercial viability, which means profit. And it's difficult to make profit on corruption. Now, I feel sorry that on the BRICS nations, right off the bat, from the very beginning, they already see the issue of corruption. Now, regardless of the corruption, it seems like the one thing that the BRICS nations agree is on the expansion and a faster expansion. Now, before going into the traditional market, I want to pause and talk about technology. Look at this headline. Teenagers convicted of grand theft auto, Nvidia, Lapsus hacks in the UK. Look how delicate has the system become. An 18-year-old and a 17-year-old can hack and cause several damage to big companies. The more we digitize ourselves, the more we live our digital lives, the more vulnerable we become, to the point where teenagers can hack and cause significant damage on the system. I just want to put this out here to let you guys know about the vulnerabilities of the system. And those vulnerabilities is not just for big companies. We are all vulnerable. There's many ways in which people can get hacked. And if you want to find out what are the risks and which ways you can be hacked, there'll be a link above to you guys or on the description where I explain at least 2 ways in which you can be hacked. I have made presentations about that. Look for the link below. Now let's go into cryptocurrencies. There is a mysterious wallet that became the 3rd largest holder of Bitcoin in 3 months. The truth is, we do not know who the wallet belongs to, but some theory says that this wallet may belong to BlackRock. You can see here. Some users suggest it's most likely a crypto exchange moving funds, while some more radical members of the crypto Twitter have posted a more wild theory suggesting that may belong to BlackRock. And here's why they suspect it is BlackRock. The first major transaction of 3,400 BTC occurred on May 16, 2023. Almost exactly 1 month later, on June 15, 2023, BlackRock filed for its first spot Bitcoin ETF. So because the first move into the wallet was pretty much precisely 1 month before BlackRock applied for the Bitcoin ETF, some speculate that this wallet may belong to BlackRock. My theory is, I do not know who it belongs to. I would not be surprised if it belongs to BlackRock. But one thing I'm pretty confident, this wallet will continue to accumulate more Bitcoin. Now, my question to you is, what do you think? Do you believe this wallet belongs to BlackRock? Let me know your theory on the comments below. Now, regardless of the price drop of Bitcoin, Bitcoin difficulty has jumped to 60% to a new peak as miners have ignored the price dip. The thing is, normally when the price goes down, you would think that miners would leave the network, look for other coins to mine. But the thing is, the difficulty rate or the hash rate of Bitcoin continue to go up, suggesting that the miners are bullish about the price performance of Bitcoin. Now, as you can see here on this headline, crypto peer-to-peer scams in India show that asset education is needed. I could not agree more. If you follow me on this channel or if you follow me on Clubhouse, you know that I do not endorse anyone buying cryptocurrencies. What I do endorse is get educated. And if you want to get educated on the crypto space so that you enter the space safely and diminishing your risk of being hacked or have your privacy being violated, consider subscribing to the Academy. Link on the description below for you guys. Now we talk about BRICS, and let's talk about Lynn Alden and her opinion on the BRICS currency. Her opinion is very similar to mine. She argues that the BRICS currency will very likely struggle to get off the ground and will fail to dethrone the United States US dollar. I agree with her completely. What she's saying here is backing a fractional reserve banking system with gold only works temporarily. And that's because the currency units will multiply more quickly than the gold does. And this is not just for gold. Any pegging eventually will be depegged because the units will multiply faster than the asset that's supposed to back that instrument. And she goes further, and I agree with her. Instead, Alden sees more likely an outcome where the BRICS nation lessen their exposure to the US dollar and use their currency for their own cross-border payment. That I believe they'll be using their currency instead of the dollar. That way they cannot be sanctioned, at least not with trading among themselves. So thank you, Alden, for sharing your view, and I'm very glad that my view matches your own. Now my question to you guys, what is your view? Do you believe Alden is right? Please let me know on the comments below. Another thing that's happening on the crypto space in Europe. Binance has limited withdrawals in Europe. And the issue is, let's make this clear, Binance does not have limits on how much you can withdraw in crypto. The limitation is when you want to withdraw fiat. And the reason is because when you withdraw fiat, Binance needs an off-ramp and on-ramp banking to do it. And the banks are not helping. They do not feel like supporting Binance. And the reasons are very obvious. Binance is very strong in the protection of their clients' privacy, and they're doing whatever they can to continue functioning without violating the principles of protection of the client's privacy. They also refuse to register in certain jurisdictions because once they do, they will be subject to the regulations on that area. And of course, SEPA is one system which is used here in Europe, and Binance no longer have support for SEPA. And if you happen to be in Netherlands, for instance, you cannot have a Binance account at all. So basically, in a few countries on the planet, such as Netherlands and the US, Binance cannot serve their clients. However, if you are 100% in crypto, you can use Binance. And if you happen to have difficulties using Binance because of the on-ramp, off-ramp system, you may want to consider using Binance peer-to-peer platform. And if you want to find out how to use that, there's a video on the channel where we demonstrate how to use the Binance peer-to-peer. Link on the description. And with this, I wrap up this video. Now the question remains, do you believe Prigozhin was on board of the plane? Please let me know in the comments below. If you did like the video, please click like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Also share this video with someone you think who can benefit from it. That's it for now. See you guys on the next video.